Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 11. Chapter 11 is entitled The Transcendental Qualities of Vritrasura. Text number 26. Ajata paksha iva mataram khaga stanyam yathavat satarakshudartha priyam priyeva vyushitam vishanna manoravindaksha didrikshate tvam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. O lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them, as small calves tied with ropes await anxiously the time of milking, when they will be allowed to drink the milk of their mothers, or as a morose wife whose husband is away from home always longs for him to return and satisfy her in all respects, I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. A pure devotee always yearns to associate personally with the Lord and render service unto Him. The examples given in this regard are almost appropriate. The examples given in this regard are most appropriate. A small baby bird is practically never satisfied except when the mother bird comes to feed it. A small calf is not satisfied unless allowed to suck the milk from the mother's udder. And a chaste devoted wife whose husband is away from home is never satisfied until she has the association of her beloved husband. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So these are words spoken by Vritrasura. As the title of the chapter suggests, this chapter describes the transcendental qualities of Vritrasura. These are prayers he is offering to the Lord. Even though he is born he's not born in a family of demons. He's born as a demon, means in a demon-like body, but the consciousness, the heart, the soul is that of a devotee. Of course, he appeared as the son of Tvashta. But a great sage, a great rishi. So Tvashta performed a sacrifice because his son was beheaded by Indra. And the whole description you would have heard in the previous chapters. Even though he has appeared in a demon's body, he is a pure devotee. And it's very evident he is a pure devotee. By such wonderful prayers he is offering, which is befitting a pure devotee. So in this prayer, he is praying to the Supreme Lord. Aravindaksha, O lotus-eyed Lord. As baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them, So he is wonderfully describing what is the kind of eagerness a devotee has for rendering devotion, a pure devotional service to Krishna, particularly for rendering direct service unto Krishna. So 3 examples are given here. As baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them. This is a natural psychology, because the bird is very, very small. It cannot fly. It cannot yet fly. It has to develop its wings. That's why the description is Ajata Paksha. Those who have not yet grown their wings. Such birds will be sheltered in a nest by the mother bird. And after it is born, the mother has to fetch the food for the baby bird and feed the baby bird. So the mother has to get the food and then feed it. And when the baby bird grows up, after it develops its wings, it will go and fly out and it will search for food and get it by itself. But till then, the baby bird is simply dependent on the mother fetching the food and feeding the baby bird. So, it is always looking for its mother to return and feed. Similarly, small calves, when they are born, they are not yet able to eat grass. And sustain their body. So they depend on the mother's milk. So they are anxiously waiting for the time of milking when they will be allowed to drink the milk of their mothers. Similarly, a morose wife, a chaste wife, always depends on her husband. If the husband is away from home, she always longs for the return of her husband, and she is completely dependent on her husband for always satisfying her desires in every way. Such is the total dependence of a devotee upon the Lord, the Supreme Lord. This is a characteristic of a pure devotee. And this is our original nature. This is our original consciousness. This is our original position. We are completely dependent on the Lord because we are a part of the Supreme Lord. And constitutionally, we are dependent. Even though a pure devotee is always with Krishna, never separated from Krishna, still, simply by thinking of Krishna, a pure devotee can associate with Krishna. Simply by chanting his name, he is completely in association of Krishna. Because Krishna's remembrance, Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's activities, Krishna's description, all are identical with Krishna, the person. So there is no difference at all. Therefore, when a devotee merely has to think of Krishna or has to remember Krishna, and of course a pure devotee never forgets Krishna. That's also the fact. So there's no question of separation for a pure devotee from Krishna. But in transcendental realm, there is something called spiritual separation. That spiritual separation, the example that is given is, just like Krishna in Vrindavan, he resides with his mother Yashoda and his father Nanda Maharaj in the house of Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Bhavan. But every day he goes for cow herding. In the morning he goes, evening he comes back. So when he goes away, Mother Yashoda, all the elderly gopis who are attached to Krishna naturally, and even the younger gopis, they cannot stop thinking of Krishna when he's away. When he's there, obviously, their attention is completely immersed in Krishna. Even when he is not present in front of them, he's gone away from his home for cow herding. So they are unable to forget him even for a moment. Their consciousness is completely dominated by the thoughts of Krishna. So that is the state of the consciousness of pure devotional service. Ananya Bhakti, Avyabhicharini Bhakti. These are different descriptions of pure devotional service in the Bhagavad Gita. Ananya Cheta Satatam Yo Mam Smarati Nityashaha. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes this pure devotional service in very concise verses. But in the Bhagavatam, we have examples of real devotees like Vritrasura, who are never able to forget Krishna even for a moment. Because their consciousness is pure consciousness, which is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness. Why? Because the fact is, Krishna is present everywhere. Krishna permeates everything. In the material world, Krishna is present everywhere as his material energy. He is present everywhere as the living entities. And to make his presence tangible, he enters into every material atom as Paramatma. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. Vishnu means the name of the Supreme Lord who incarnates in this world at the beginning of creation is called Vishnu. He is Narayana only. But he is called Vishnu because he enters into everything. The root meaning of the word Vishnu is one who enters. There is one verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Vishate tadanantaram. What is that verse? Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. Vishate means enters. So from vishate, or I don't know the dhatu, in Sanskrit there is a root word. From that, derivatives are all having the meaning of the root word itself. So from that dhatu, Vishnu, the name of the Supreme Lord who enters into everything in this material world, is Vishnu. So he enters first of all the material energy as Mahavishnu. Then the creation begins. And then he expands himself to enter into every universe as Padmanabha, Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. Then he enters into every living being's heart as the Super Soul. He enters into every planet after the planets are created. Enters into every planet. And he enters into the heart of every living being. He enters into every material atom. Then only the material object that is created at the beginning of creation, or that is constantly being created, generated, will have some utility. Just like this wooden table, it is made of wood. Wood is basically the earth element. Earth element is a transformation of the material energy when it differentiates into different elements at the beginning of creation by the glance of Mahavishnu. Mahat Tattva differentiates into 24 different elements. So one of the elements is this earth element. But earth in its manifestation for the purpose of the nonsensical sense gratification of the living entities, earth transforms into so many varieties of products. The same earth transforms into metals, into stone. Stone also, so many varieties of stone. Metal, so many varieties of metals. Just think about this. Now, for each of them to have unique qualities by which they are serving the purpose of the metal or wood, even our body, there are so many different manifestations of the earth element which form our body. Bone is also manifestation of the earth element. But bone has got different characteristics than the skin or the flesh. Correct? Similarly, the water element, it has got manifestations at different liquids, different juices. The fire element, fire is manifested in so many different ways. Fire, what we know as fire, okay. That is one manifestation of the fire element. In one translation, in the 15th chapter, Na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha. Prabhupada's translation of that pavaka. What is the verse number? 15 point? 15.6. Yeah. Pavakaha, Prabhupada gives the word for meaning fire. Fire is the simple meaning, direct meaning. But Prabhupada also translates, gives the meaning as electricity. So what is this electricity? So one Kannada translator, he was telling there's a mistake here. He knows Sanskrit. So he says Pavaka means fire. But Pavaka doesn't mean electricity. So Pavaka means fire. So the manifestation of fire as fire is one manifestation of the element called fire. Another manifestation is this electricity. It's also a manifestation of fire element. Sunshine is a manifestation of fire. Manifestation of fire. So, sunshine, the illumination due to sunshine. Moonshine, the illumination of the moonshine, is also a manifestation of fire. So, all these are manifestations of the fire element. Now, why all these manifestations are required? The element is generated at the time of beginning of creation, but these elements manifest either individually or in combinations as varieties of material products. Why? Only for the sake of the material enjoyment of the living conditioned souls, of the living entities in this material world. This is the kindness of Krishna. And it all happens when Krishna enters into each of these manifestations. When Krishna enters, the same earth element will have the properties of wood. Same earth element, when it manifests as stone, it will have properties of stone. And stone also, varieties of stone, marble, quartz, we say kota stone, granite. Again, there is a variety of qualities, no? Variation in the qualities, isn't it? The hardness is not the same. The texture is not the same. The shine is not the same. So, this is manifestation of Krishna. Specifically, it is Krishna's energy. Krishna's energy. So, that is because Krishna enters into each of these elements, each of these manifestations. So, that is Krishna entering into everything in the material world. In that way, he is all-pervading. So his energy itself transforms into these varieties. That energy manifestation is called Brahman. Krishna's manifestation of his Brahman feature, energy. Then as super soul, Paramatma, he enters into everything in the material world. He enters into the material energy, he enters into the material universe, he enters into the material planets, he enters into every living being's heart, he enters into every material atom. So a devotee sees Krishna everywhere. Even though the devotee sees Krishna everywhere, and he knows. But the manifestation of Krishna as Brahman in the material world, as the varieties of material things, or the manifestation of the Supreme Lord as the super soul in the heart of every living being or in the atom, material atom, is recognized by the pure devotee by utilizing everything and engaging everyone in pure devotional service of the personality of Godhead Krishna. This is the way a pure devotee recognizes Krishna's presence in this world. But he is not satisfied by just perceiving the presence of Krishna in this world as Brahman or Paramatma. He always wants to directly serve the personality of Godhead Krishna. So it is natural that somebody takes birth in a material body in this world. The limited access to such a conditioned soul of the Supreme Lord is limited to access of his Brahman and Paramatma features. That's all. So when a pure devotee is in the material world, even though he knows everything material is actually a manifestation of Krishna only, that's the way we should understand this 7th chapter, this verse. Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayo pranavas sarva vedeshu Shabda khe paurusham rishu. I am the sound in ether. So every sound is a manifestation of Krishna only. Then what is the difference between the sound of ordinary words that we speak and the difference and the sound of the holy name Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. What's the difference? The presence of Krishna in the form of material sound vibration is Krishna himself, but in his Brahman feature. Material sound is his Brahman feature. His holy name of the personality of Godhead is his Bhagavan feature, his personal feature. When it comes to personal feature, one has to engage in direct service to Krishna, which is called pure devotional service. It is called bhakti. So, devotees render service to Krishna in all his features. So, they render service to Krishna in his Bhagavan feature by directly serving him. Whereas they render service to Krishna in his Brahman feature by utilizing all Brahman manifestations. Yes, time up. All Brahman manifestations in his devotional service, especially in the material world. And even the presence of the Supreme Lord is Paramatma. What is Paramatma doing in the material world? He is facilitating the satisfaction of the desires of the living entities by providing so many different material facilities. A devotee recognizes Paramatma's presence as the facilitator of our desires and as the facilitator of all arrangements for us to engage in different activities. By praying to the Lord, please engage me in direct service to Bhagavan, feature of the Supreme Lord. Let me utilize everything I have in your service as the Supreme Personality of God. That's why in the Bhagavatam, this is particularly highlighted. That even though they are non-different, the three features of the Absolute Truth, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, that verse, Vadanti tat tattva vidaha tattvam yad jnanam advayam, advaya jnana. Advaya jnana means non-different. The three aspects of the Absolute Truth, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, are non-different from each other. You cannot separate out one from the other. Absolute Truth is one. And there is absolute oneness. It's not relative oneness, it's absolute oneness. So that absolute oneness is described as non-different. Brahman is non-different from Paramatma, Paramatma is non-different from Bhagavan. Or any one of them is non-different from the other. They are all the same absolute truth. But still, realization of the Brahman feature is incomplete realization of the Absolute Truth, because one is only able to realize the Sat feature of the Absolute Truth by Brahman realization. By Paramatma realization, one is able to realize only the Sat and the Chit features. So Paramatma realization includes Brahman realization. But Bhagavan realization is the highest realization and the complete realization, because one is able to realize all the three qualities of the Absolute Truth. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat, Chit, Ananda. So, complete realization is realization of the Bhagavan feature. And Bhagavan feature includes the Brahman feature and the Paramatma feature. Therefore, when you read carefully Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am Brahman. When he says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. You see, I am Brahman. I am Paramatma. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattas smritir jnanam apohanam cha. I am seated in everybody's heart. We know he is seated in everybody's heart as Paramatma. But that Paramatma is Krishna himself. But then a devotee who knows the highest aspect of the Absolute Truth, the complete realization of Absolute Truth is realization as Bhagavan, he is not satisfied with darshan of Paramatma in the heart. No. He wants darshan of the Supreme Lord in his feature as Bhagavan. Now, Bhagavan darshan is also not difficult. Because even as Bhagavan, he is present in this material world in so many different manifestations of Bhagavan. The deity manifestation. Deity is Bhagavan, feature of the Supreme Lord. The deity of Krishna, Vishnu, Narayana. But still, in the just having the darshan of the deity, no, that is not enough for the devotee, pure devotee. He wants to render service, direct service. That's what is said by Prabhupada here. And that is told by Vritrasura himself. I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you, lotus-eyed Lord. Lotus-eyed means the personal feature, Arvindaksha. When he's addressing the Lord as Arvindaksha, lotus-eyed Supreme Lord, he's addressing the personality of Godhead. So the personal feature. And what he wants to do with the personal feature, he wants to render direct service. Direct service. So last point, I'll close after this. Now, we are taught that don't try to directly serve Krishna. Rather, try to become a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also prays. Dasa dasanu dasaha gopi bhartuhu padakamalayor dasa dasanu dasaha. One who desires to directly serve the Lord is not considered the best of the devotees. One is considered the best of the devotees if he desires to serve the servant of 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 the Lord. Yet, Vritrasura is glorified here that he is always yearning for the opportunity to render direct service unto him. So what is this direct service? This direct service is the difference between serving the Lord indirectly through practice of karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga. Anybody who strives to establish their connection with the Supreme Lord. Yoga means establishing our connection with the Lord. Through karma, jnana or tapasya. Such a yogi means one who is trying to establish the connection with the Lord. So he is not rendering direct service to Krishna. One who is endeavoring to connect with the Lord through bhakti yoga. Such a yogi, bhakti yogi, is directly serving the Lord. So direct service to the Lord is devotional service. But even in devotional service, there is mixed devotional service and pure devotional service. Mixed devotional service is where one renders devotional service for some material benefit or for liberation or for some mystic powers. But pure devotional service is devotional service rendered to the Lord without any desire for any material benefit, without any desire for liberation, without any desire for any mystic power, but simply to please the Lord for His pleasure, for for his satisfaction. And the devotee does not even demand that I must get. The devotee always prays very humbly, please give me an opportunity to serve you for your pleasure. Serve you for your pleasure. So, when we try to serve a pure devotee who is always engaged in serving the Supreme Lord, or who is engaged in serving another pure devotee, that service is more pleasingly accepted by Krishna than when somebody directly wants to serve the personality of Krishna. Why? Because Krishna actually likes his pure devotees. Krishna likes his pure devotees so much that Krishna is always thinking of his pure devotees. Devotees are always thinking of Krishna. But Krishna is always thinking of his devotees. Krishna is looking for an opportunity to serve his devotees. And the devotees, they don't want to take any service from Krishna. They simply want to serve Krishna for his satisfaction. Material, what happens? If I give service to somebody, I expect some reciprocation in the form of some return. But spiritual world, pure devotional service, they serve Krishna without any expectation of service from Krishna. Without any expectation. Only thing they want is Krishna should be pleased, Krishna should be satisfied. That's all. And that also they don't demand. So that meaning of direct service unto you here is not that he doesn't want to serve pure devotees. No. He wants to serve without expecting anything in return. He wants to serve only for the sake of pleasing Krishna. And he wants to serve the Bhagavan aspect, not the Brahman aspect, not the Paramatma aspect. That's also another meaning of direct service unto you. I'll stop here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.